ready to get started with our math message. Okay, so we are going to take a look at this, and I'm going to change it just a little bit, okay? Up here it says, look at the rectangle. Oh, I see your eyes looking at the rectangle, thanks. It represents a fruit bar, so we got to pretend it's a fruit bar. If it were snack time, would you want a whole fruit bar or half a fruit bar? Think in your head what you would like. This is your fruit bar. Now it says to make a tally mark on the board, but we're going to vote with your hands. Okay? And I'm going to take votes from everyone who has their marker in their lap like I asked. Their board is sitting still. I'm going to take your votes. Okay? So think in your head which one you would want. Do you want the whole fruit bar or half the fruit bar? Ready? Does it matter what your neighbor thinks? Nope, just what you think. Here we go. If you would like the whole fruit bar, raise your hand. If you would like the half of the fruit bar, raise your hand. Hands down. If you wanted the whole fruit bar, talk to us a little bit about why you wanted the whole fruit bar. Audrey.
Because usually at snack times, I get really hungry.
You can tell me what Audrey said, and you can add on, disagree. Violet.
Because she said usually at snack time, I'm really hungry.
So she wants the whole thing because she's hungry, right? What do you think about that?
Well, I sort of disagree, and it's sort of, because usually I'm not always hungry at snack time. And I don't really like fruit bars. But is it like the fruit bowl kind?
You can do whatever you want it to make it. Ike, what do you think?
I want it in half because I wanted to share it with my sister because she really likes fruit bars.
Who understands what Ike is saying? Ike trying to tell us. Brendan?
He don't want to eat all of it. No, share it with others.
Did you hear what Brendan said? If you don't hear what someone says, what do you say? What was Ike saying, Brendan? Go ahead and say it again, the way you said it. Yep, go ahead.
I don't hear it.
You can say it. Let him think again. Sometimes we forget we got to rethink. Ask Ike.
You say it again. I wanted it to be in half so I can share it with my sister because me and my sister really like August. Please speak up.
Okay, so Brendan's going to repeat what he said.
He don't want to eat all of it because he wants to share some with his sister.
Deshaun, what are you thinking?
I get to agree with him.
That that's not what he's saying?
No, but because I think, I agree with it because
Okay, hold on a second. What I'm asking you is, he just said what Ike said, right? He's retelling you what Ike said. So, what do you agree with?
the way you said.
The way he said Ike's, or the idea about sharing it with a sister? So what you're saying is, so you agree, let me see if I understand what you guys are saying. You agree with Ike. You wanted a whole or a half? So if I give you, let me ask you this. If I give you half a fruit bar, What are you going to give your sister?
Another
Half
half.
of your half?
No, I mean, we each have to make this be the same size.
What's he talking about? Is he?
Maybe like, I think like he wants a whole bar, but he's gonna cut it in half. So he can have one part and his sister can have another.
Elizabeth's thumb is up, which means she's agreeing with what you say, with what you're saying. Ike, do you agree with what Izzy's saying about you? So what do you ask her?
Maybe you want a whole bar so that you can split it in half, so you can have one half and your sister can have another.
Is that what you're thinking? What do you say what you're thinking again?
My sister.
Okay, here, before you say what you're thinking, here's the question. If it were snack time, would you want a whole fruit bar or half a fruit bar? Go. Because?
Because my sister wants one too. And so I gave her.
Okay, so if I cut this in half, by the way, draw this on your board and cut it in half. I don't know why you don't have a marker. Divide it in 2 equal shares and show. All right, board's in your lap. I'm going to use what you guys are showing me. Some did this. Some people did it vertically or horizontally. Some people did it vertically. That's fine. Ike, I'm coming back to you. Let's come back to our friend Ike and figure this out. Ike, you said you wanted half, so I'm going to come at snack time, and this is what you get. Now tell me. Now what are you going to do?
Then it half a different way, right in the middle.
Come here. Show us.
I did it. I'm doing it to the opposite.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm touching the board. Now tell us what you're thinking.
That my sister had the same size, and I had the same.
Point to your same size, your share. Point to her share. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have this side. You only asked for half. So, wait a minute. Let's go back to what Izzy was saying. Izzy, you said you thought really he wanted the whole thing. But listen to what Izzy's saying. Izzy says you want the whole thing because you're going to eat this share and your sister's going to eat this share. Is that what you're thinking? He found out that that really was what he was thinking. All right. Good. Have a seat. What about this fruit bar? Right? Okay. If you were hungry, now this is important. If you were super duper hungry, which fruit bar would you want? Would you want the whole thing up here or half of this one? Would you want the whole one or half? Boy, Mrs. Geisler's got a funky fruit bar, don't I? Should have straight lines. What would you want? Show me on your board. You're you're either going to show me half of this one, or you're going to show me this one. All right, well, wait a minute now. I'm seeing different answers here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's clear this up. Why would you want, if you were super hungry, why would you want half of this one if you're super hungry? Shanley, why?
Because even though you have half, it's still bigger because that one's big is only taking up half of it, and then the other one's just a little one. So even though it's little when you get the whole thing, you can swallow half of the big one because it will still be lighter and taller.
Are you thinking about that?
I do.
Who can say the same thing in a different way? I'd say the same thing in a different way. I want to see some hands I haven't seen. Are you thinking? Why you want, which side, which one? What was Shanley trying to say? Jay Sean, what was Shanley trying to say?
I'm trying to say, if you get half of the big bar and look at the little bar, like that bar is way bigger than the little bar. You should still want the half bar, because that one is still is bigger than the little one.
And we're hungry, right?
Wait.
Garen.
I'll choose the big one, but half of the big one, because like a half of this one is just like about like the same as this one, like a full this one.
Do you think it's the same?
A little, I think a little bit.
Divide it in half and see. Cut it in half. Well, not with this. You have to use a smartboard marker. Cut it in half and let's see, guys. See if you agree with what I'm saying. Go ahead. And now tell them what you're saying.
So like a half of this is a little bit like this.
Elizabeth, what do you think about that? I see a face.
I disagree. I don't disagree. It's like the same length, but the bigger one is wider than the smaller one.
Do you understand what she's saying? She was saying that this side, she still thinks that this is bigger than that. Do you agree? You agree with that? So, I'm hearing from all of you, here's what I'm hearing. Thank you, sir. You may sit back to your seat. I'm hearing that even though we're getting half of this, it's still bigger than this whole fruit bar, right? And we said we were really hungry. So the thing that makes the difference is how big the whole part is. It depends on how big our whole is. That makes a difference on how big our half would be, right? So the size of the whole makes a difference. You may snap your cap on your marker. That's what we're talking about today, is equal shares, but it depends on how big the whole is, all right?